Maxamuffy Duffster, the guy who coughs or sneezes and transforms into a dog. Bless you. Woof, woof. Uh-oh. We better get started with the story quickly before Maxamuffy gets any worse. There was once a young adult named Maxamuffy Duffster. He was extremely sick and he was not allowed to go to work. All he did was to get lots of rest and drink lots of juice. It was not his day. Oh, he groaned. I don't feel well. When am I ever going to feel 100% better so I can get back to work? Then he sighed. Oh, maybe a couple more days of rest ought to do me some good. All of a sudden, something unexpected happened, and not in a good way. Maxamuffy sneezed. That's it! And the sneeze transformed instantly right into a type of dog which is a Pomeranian. He barked, "Arf! Arf!" And then he said, "Uh-oh, now I really don't feel like myself. I've been turned into a dog." Then there was more trouble. Something was crawling underneath Maxamuffy's blanket. "What's that?" he asked nervously. He looked under the blanket and he noticed, "Ah, an ant!" coughed Maxamuffy loudly. His cough turned him back into human. "Get out! Go away!" he yelled. "I don't want any ants in my bed while I'm trying to rest. Who are you?"
Calm down, man. You shouldn't yell during your sick days. I'm done with the ant, by the way.
"Then flick the ant?" puzzled Maxamuffy. He thought about it for a moment. "Hey, wait a minute," he said. "Were you the ant who's been sneaking into school for no valid reason, but you were busted and ended up in a military school for bad, guilty ants?"
Yes.
Netflix said sadly.
You may be sick, but you figured out what happened to me.
"Thank you. Now let me tell you my name. It's Maxamuffy Duffster. And here's another question. How did you get out, Denflick?"
My family bailed me out. Man, military school for troubled ants is not for me, Maxamuffy. It's a complete waste of time.
"I see," said Maxamuffy. "Well, I gotta get some more. Uh, Achoo! Maxamuffy turned into a Pomeranian again,
Gesundheit.
said Denflick. "Thank you." Arf! Maxamuffy barked, and Denflick gasped and screamed. Denflick got his cell phone and called the doctor immediately. He waited and waited and waited until. "Hello, this is Dr. Rosrow. How may I help you?"
I'm Duffster, and this
Wait. Hold the phone here. Stop. Are you the ant from military school for troubled ants?" asked Dr. Rosrow. "Because if you are an ant, I
no time to explain.
interrupted Denflick, who was feeling very desperate to save Maxamuffy and bring him back to his original self. All right, calm down, Denflick," advised Dr. Rosrow. "Just breathe in and out, and then tell me what's wrong, please." Denflick breathed in, and he breathed out. Then he said in a nice, calm, and slow way.
Maxamuffy Duffster is ill, and he suffered through a diagnosis called Pomeranian roughidus.
Huh? Pomeranian roughidus? Puzzled Dr. Rosrow. What does that mean? Is it something you made up?
What I meant to say
Denflick answered.
was that every time Maxamuffy sneezes, he gets transformed into a Pomeranian, which is a type of dog.
What? It can't be, cried Dr. Rosrow. Turning into dogs at a young adult could lead him ending up where all the other old dogs are. Denflick, thank you for telling me the truth. I'll come to Maxamuffy's house as fast as I can. He hung up the phone and off he went. A couple minutes later, the doorbell rang. Denflick went downstairs, hopped onto the doorknob, and opened the door. Then he landed down to safety. Hello? Said Dr. Rosrow. I'm here to. Huh? He looked from left to right, but nobody was here. Then he looked down and saw. Ah! An ant! He screamed. OMG! I don't want any ants! Then he remembered and realized something. Wait a minute. You are Denflick from military school, aren't you? He asked sternly.
Yes,
Denflick said sadly.
but I really dislike military school for chocolate ants, so my family bailed me out.
Well, your family shouldn't have done that. And you shouldn't be in Maxamuffy's house, Dr. Rosrow fumed. I have no choice but to.
Wait!
Cried Denflick.
This is not time for arguments. Maxamuffy needs you right away. It's a huge emergency.
My goodness, you're right, gasped Dr. Rosrow. We better get upstairs pronto. Thank you for reminding me, Denflick. And up the stairs they went. When Dr. Rosrow and Denflick went inside Maxamuffy's bedroom, the sneeze from Maxamuffy happened again, as well as the Pomeranian transformation. Arf! Arf! Oh, Gesundheit! Gasped Dr. Rosrow. Then he turned to Denflick. I'm sorry I was angry at you. I shouldn't have jumped to conclusions on the phone when you're trying to tell me that Maxamuffy feeling ill and turning into a Pomeranian computes as an emergency,
That's okay.
said Denflick.
I forgive you. But what should we do? I don't want Maxamuffy to leave us.
Neither do I. What we need is an important antidote for humans to automatically feel better and to no longer turn into dogs, agreed Dr. Rosrow. And here it is. It's my new humanized antidote,
Will it work?
Denflick asked nervously. Maybe, Dr. Rosrow answered. It says it works for humans who are not feeling well and ended up being a dog with one big sneeze, namely Maxamuffy. One drop of this antidote, and he will feel much like being a human, rather than being a Pomeranian, a Yorkie, or any other type of dog for that matter. Arf! Dr. Rosrow, moaned Maxamuffy. Coming, called Dr. Rosrow, and made the antidote preparation. Okay, Maxamuffy, I'm going to put one teeny tiny drop of this human antidote on your left arm, and in about 7 minutes, more or less, you will be back to your old original self, and you won't have to be a dog anymore. Ready? Yeah. Oof! Replied Maxamuffy. I'm ready. Good, said Dr. Rosrow. Please hold still and don't move. You won't feel a thing. So he put a drop of the human antidote right on Maxamuffy's left arm. Everyone waited. Then, when 7 minutes passed by, Maxamuffy coughed and turned into a human one more time. My goodness, he said. What happened? Before Dr. Rosro and Denflick could answer, Maxamuffy sniffed around. His sense of smell was back, which meant that Maxamuffy is all better. And the best part was that there were no sneezing effects for the time being, which means no more transforming into a Pomeranian or any other type of dog. Maxamuffy thanked Dr. Rosbro, especially Denflick, for saving his life. Tomorrow, Maxamuffy will go back to work, and everyone will live happily ever after. As for Denflick, he is going back home to tell his family how he saved Maxamuffy. No more military school for him.